Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. This time we're back with another gaming monitor. This time it's 1080p. It's 180 Hz. It has adaptive sync. It's a 0.2 millisecond response. It does have a fast IPS panel. So at just £100, is this the best gaming monitor you can buy for the money? Okay, so this is the IIYAMA G2770HS. This is a 27-inch gaming monitor from IIYAMA. Now, it is a fast IPS display. It's not a glossy, it's actually like a matte finish on the display itself. It does have a 0.2 millisecond response. The overall refresh rate is 180 Hz. It has HDMI, it has DisplayPort. It does have iCare, which iSafe certified. That means it has a function in the overall interface that puts a blue glare on the screen, so it saves your eyes. This is a 27-inch, as you can see from the overall screen itself. The bezel, I would say they should have made this more up toward the edge of the bezel because it would have looked much more tidier, but considering the price point, it's not bad. It has onboard speakers. The overall brightness, this is as bright as it gets. It doesn't go any higher. The onboard speakers, they aren't the loudest, but they aren't the worst for included speakers. But of course, not every monitor will have included speakers, which I think is a shame. If you're paying money for something, I honestly think you should have that, at least have a feature like onboard speakers, because it saves you, just in case you've just bought this for, say, your kid and they haven't got a headset or they haven't got like individual or speakers to actually plug in. This has onboard speakers, so at least they would get them gaming quickly. Now, the overall base, it's not the best in quality. It's plastic with obviously this. That's metal. The overall arm attachment isn't the best quality, but for the price point, it's not bad. I do wish they'd extended it a little so this was a bit higher, because this at the moment isn't my eye level, which if your monitor isn't in your eye level, you can put strain on the monitor. But let's get into some CSGO gameplay and see how it looks and how it feels while gaming. Okay, so here's some CSGO gameplay. Now, yes, I'm not playing online because that wouldn't be fair to anyone. But what I'm going to say is the benefits of having a high refresh rate monitor are these. There's no input lag, there's no problems with responsiveness. That is the whole point of going high refresh. Now, no, 180 isn't the most highest refresh you can go. I believe it's like up to, what, 600 now? Something like that it is. So, yeah. Now, the most I've ever had is a 360 FPS monitor, and fantastic experience, but this is a very good middle ground. Don't go 60 FPS if you want to play gaming, because trust me, you will notice the difference between 60 and 180 FPS. So this is 1080p, it's 180 Hz, it's got IPS display, very fast IPS display, so it's got a fast response IPS. It's a 0.2 millisecond response, and it's at 27 inches, which I think for 1080p is probably the sweet spot. Anything higher than that, I wouldn't recommend, but I am getting 500 FPS here in CSGO at 1080p at medium settings. And this is buttery smooth. Where did he go? Oh, but yes, if you're going to go for a 1080p monitor, you are better off going a high refresh rate, because trust me, it will be more beneficial in the future with how high-end computer parts are getting. So if you do an upgrade, you'll get more utilization out of your monitor. Okay, so this is Crab Rave. Now, this is just going to essentially give you an overall, see what it looks like with Crab Rave. This is just a song. This is going to show you or give you an indicator of what the sound is like. Okay, so this monitor does lack it does lack bass completely. It just, there's no bass at all. Now it does sound rather tinny toward the edge, towards the end of the sound, but, and yes, it does seem a little bit flat, but considering the price point, it is not bad whatsoever. Okay, so as for content consumption, I'm just going to put one of my videos on and give you, just let you watch it, see what you actually think. Now, this is just, like I said, it's 1080p, so here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. Now, like I said, I've got 3 PC builds. This is number 2. This is for my other nephew. This is for the youngest, and his name's Leon. Yes, this is a video I've done for Christmas, what was for my youngest nephew. This is his first ever gaming PC, so let's get into it. Actually, looks fine. I mean, it does, it looks fine. The picture looks fine. So, the music, the speakers aren't the best. I can tell that already, but at least it has speakers. A lot of brands don't tend to put speakers on there for some reason. Okay, so look, the colours aren't the best, but what I will say is that it looks fine. For the price point, I honestly think it looks okay. So let's get to something that maybe is really colourful. So let's get to the end part of the video. Right, so here we go. Right. Here we go. Right, so this is the end part now. So that's the colour. Now, it does look very vibrant. I will say that. It looks rather good by here. Now, I don't generally do this type of thing with monitors. I have put it in now and then, but the way I see it is a monitor. You go in to consume content. At the end of the day, if it looks fine and sounds okay, then it's pretty much going to be good for watching something like a movie or TV show. So... I know that's not the monitor showing like a blue glare. That's actually me with the light in the background. I actually put it as a blue, so then we can make the overall, like, the background seem better. Okay, so that actually looks nice. That looks fine. So for content consumption, it's just fine to watch something on YouTube. The colours aren't the best, but they are okay. Considering the price, it's not bad. Okay, so in terms of the interface, now what I will say is the interface is actually alright. Now, no, it's not the best interface, but this is better than some of the monitors I've actually used in the past. It's not bad. I actually like this interface. It's very simple to use. It just tells you where to go, the image adjustments, stuff like that. Yes, this does have, like, sharp and soft. It does have X-ray technology. It has i-style color. Oops, sorry about that. It does have a lot of functions, this monitor. Now, I will tell you the overall display information, and of course you can change like the horizontal position. You can put on adaptive sync, LED, the opening logo, stuff like that. There's the overall language, image adjustment. You can do the colors, which as you can see is normal for me. Then you, of course, then this is a user setting. Then of course you can change the overall volume. Input selection, that's just you can either do it auto or you can do it yourself. Now this by here now is the contrast and the brightness. As you can see, the brightness is all the way up here, but when you go all the way down, it does go really, really dim. So, you know, from 50, there's 50 and there's 100. Obviously there's a difference, but not much of a difference. So, but here now then we've got black timer. That's just going to be all the blacks, is it? Yeah, it's just going to adjust the color. So we've got gamma, and that's pretty much it for the interface. The interface is very easy to use, and to be honest, it's one of the better interfaces I've actually used on a monitor. So, yeah. Okay, so this is UFO Test. Now, what this essentially does is this tests the frame rate of the monitor. So if a monitor manufacturer or the brand says that a monitor, let's just put this one in for instance, it says 180 hertz for the overall refresh rate. Well, this does display the frames. This is what actually gives you a good indicator if a brand is actually telling the truth or not. So what it will actually essentially do, it will take from the lowest frame rate, which is 23, and then it goes right up to the actual monitor's frame rate, and it shows you the differences between smoothing and what you can actually see. Now, as you can see, it's more clunked together, more jittery than on 23, and then the further you get up in frame rate, because there is a difference between 60 and 180, you can see that it's a lot more smoother, it's much better, and it doesn't look as jittery. But as for the frame rate, it's definitely showcasing the 180 hertz that the IIYAMA have said, so that's a good thing. So let's get into some color testing. Okay, so this is EIZO. This is what actually shows you the test pattern. It will show the colors, it'll tell you the difference, it'll also give you an indicator of like the viewing angles and so forth. So what I'm going to do is put it through its paces here. I'm going to go from 1 to 13 and tell you or show you the overall differences when it comes to that. Now, defective pixel. This will put a black, like you see here, black screen, and it will actually, you'll be able to look. If you look closely to the monitor, if there's a dead pixel, you should see it within that, and there's no dead pixels here. This one does dead pixels on a white. Now, this would also be an indicator. It would show more of a dark spot than anything, but there's nothing I can actually see here. And then you've got defective pixels on red. Then you've got ones on green, and then you've got ones on blue, because monitors, if they've got any problems out of the box, then of course these type of tests will actually show the problems, so forth. Now, uniformity, this is where it is varies from grayscale, so the brightness should be equally distributed across the entire image. So what this essentially does, it gives you a gray tone, which you can either click 50, 25 or 75%. That's what it will generally do. It shouldn't have any colorful areas, so if it shows any colorful areas, then that means uniformity isn't exactly accurate. So color distances. Now, this is the one where your monitor can display similar colors and keeping them differential. Now, what it's going to essentially show you is the differences between colors. So the background at the moment I was just gray, but if I turn it to red, and then just go to that color, and we go to that color, go to that color, just, you know, it will tell you the overall differences. Now, as you can see, we've got green by there, we've got purple. So that's the color distances. How does it look actually at a distance? So gradients, this is essentially viewing distance. Check the display for gradients. Grayscale should be reproducing the overall view without any unnecessary color with an even gradient. So at 256 intervals, there should not be any noticeable abrupt changes in the brightness between individual grayscales. So essentially going from dark to grey to white, there shouldn't be no differences there. So sharpness, now this is just going to give you the overall sharpness of the test. So let's actually make the font size bigger. So it'll just tell you how it looks how does the image or the overall text look? Does it look sharp? Does it look blurry? That's what this essentially does. Viewing angles. Now this will tell you a viewing angle of a monitor. That's a problem. One of the problems with VA, that usually has a problem with bad viewing angles as well as the overall color. Now, I can't see any bad viewing angles here. Maybe up towards here when you look directly by here, it does tend to go a little bit more darker, but it's not bad considering the price. So gamma. So this will determine your monitor's gamma value. This obviously will just show you the differences. So there we go, that's the differences. Now number 13, this is the response time. Exactly the same thing what I've done with UFO testing. So I haven't essentially got to do this because you've already seen what the response time's like. But if we go to there, right, so this is our 1280. So here we go. Right, let's go. So we'll go to white. We'll go blue, and then we'll go black. So that'll just essentially tell you the overall pixels per second. So that's it, essentially. Hey guys, so look, when it comes to 1080p gaming monitors, now I haven't reviewed many. I've only reviewed a couple. That's one from AOC and one from MSI. Now, I don't usually review 1080p because that's not a resolution I use personally. But me personally, that's got nothing to do with this. This is to do with you and what is actually a good deal when it comes to buying a game monitor. Now, currently this is out of stock in Comet, but they do have the 24-inch version for £90, which is still a good deal because it's actually the same as this, same specs, everything, except it's just smaller in size. But other than that, let's get back to this. Now, when I saw this actually priced on Comet, it was just over £100. I think for the initial price, if Comet can keep it to that price, I believe it was £100, but the original price is like 120, and that still is the cheapest 1080p gaming monitor I've ever reviewed. I've never had anything that cheap on the channel before. Now, yes, that does come with a bit of downsides. Now, the base is not big enough. The base needs to be longer because, as you could probably see, my head's over the monitor. I shouldn't have to adjust my seat, but what I will say, for the price point, it's a fantastic deal. If you can get over the fact that the base is very small. Now, that's just my nitpick. That's me personally. That's just me because I'm a big person. I'm almost 6 foot, so I'm not exactly small. So for me, a game monitor has to be eye level for me. My personal monitor, that is eye level. So, you know, that's one little nitpick I'm going to say. And one good thing, it comes with actual speakers. Not every brand I've looked at when it comes to monitors for double the price come with speakers. That is a very good thing, especially in 2025. So, basically, should you buy it? Well, once it comes back in stock in Comet, it will be listed for the cheapest in the United Kingdom. So if I was you, if you're patient, wait, because honestly, for £120, this is an absolute bargain for the price. So yeah, now if you can't wait, they do have the 24-inch version, like I said, and that's for £90. The links for that will be down below. But I'm not going to link it anywhere else because at the end of the day, over that price point, it's not worth it. There's some places that have actually priced it at £180. It's not worth it for £180. Below sub 150, it's definitely worth it for that type of price. But over 150, it's not. I'm sorry, but there's better options out there for over £150. So, yeah, look, I like to say a big thank you to Comet for sending this out, as well as IIYAMA, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I am sorry, but yeah. But other than that, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe because I have got so much stuff coming here. I've got more monitors coming from Target. I've got headsets. I've got AIOs, coolers. I've got WELSHYTECH back on the channel after 2 years. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic week and week ahead of you. This is Richard from WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.